I thought I'd record a video about a bit about who I am and how I got here. And maybe this is for the amount of Dutch people who've recently followed me on Instagram, or for anyone new, who doesn't really know who I am. There's a lot of people out there, right, teaching, or spiritual people, or whatever you want to call them, spiritual gurus or teachers or any of that kind of stuff. And the portrayal is to portray themselves as successful, to show people, hey, I've the life that you want. Look at my fucking nice house and Lamborghini, and oh, I was in the ninth dimension today, all this kind of stuff. And I've done that too. Gavin, the human, has done that too. The ego of insecurity, of wanting to be liked, admired, respected, want to have clients, want to have followers, want people to think that I am, I have achieved something, or, oh, he is successful. Oh, he must be good because he's whatever. And it's a continuous battle at times to work away from that, to work towards authenticity, that this is just, I'm on my path, I do my thing. If it resonates with you, well, then follow or read another article or listen to another podcast or come to a Sunday Zoom or work with me in a 6-week course. There's loads of free stuff there you can dip in and out of. But I think part of the reason today to speak from this place is that, only a year and a half ago, I was living in Ireland. I was living in a car, and, I spent 4 years living in that car. And it was not by choice, in a sense. It was because I didn't want to live in a doorway. And as time wore on, I knew that it was the best place for me. It was the safest place for me to be in my own space, in the car, not have the weight of rents and landlords and all that kind of stuff hanging over me, the pressure of that I could meet myself without that pressure, and do bits of work, cash work, just to keep me going. But at 40 years of age, I lost, everything. I think it was 39 years of age. I lost, my ex-partner. She asked me to move out, and she was right. And I moved out. I had nowhere to go. So I moved into a 20-year-old Volkswagen Polo. And, I didn't want to do that. And I thought that might be for a few days till something turned up, or maybe a couple of weeks. The longest, I thought, maybe a month. And something will come up, work will come in, I'll find a place to live. But I spent 4 years in that car, and in 2 cars, and because I changed about halfway through. But it was the greatest experience for me. It was highly necessary. It that experience allowed me the space to meet myself, and allowed me a window of opportunity, if you like, to lose some of myself, to let some of myself go, the self with a smaller s, to surrender. And this was not by choice. There were not intelligent moments that I thought, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I went through all of this because I had no place left to go. I had no way out. I was at the end of the road. All I had left was to meet myself, and for those who don't know, there was a winding down, a deepening into that pain, and the arrival, in a place. It was a January a few years ago. I don't remember the year, but that I had a chest infection, a sinus infection, that this kept going. This ran on for 2 or 3 weeks. I had anemia. I had no energy. I had athlete's foot across all my toes from using public showers. And I had 10 verrucas over the heels and feet of both my feet. Whole body was in bits. And One evening I had a moment that just flashed, that hit me like a lucid moment. And up until that point, I thought that, oh, this is all going to change. This is going to move on. I'm going to get a job. Like something will happen if I keep fighting. I've read all these motivation people and listened to them for years. Fuck, keep going, change your life, manifest. I did all that stuff. This was a lucid moment that for the first time, I had the realization that I might die in this car. I think I'm going to die. And very quickly that became, I'm dying. I realized my health. Holy shit. Like I had no money. Some days I remember I'd have 10 or 20 euros and it was like, okay, do I put diesel in the car or do I buy lunch? And obviously I didn't have a kitchen. I couldn't cook. So I had to eat expensively. Not that I was fine dining, but McDonald's or takeaways or, a sandwich in a supermarket. And I realized that evening, and I remember that I'm pretty sure it was a Monday or Tuesday evening. It was in January. It was freezing cold. It was dark. It was probably 5:30 in the evening, and I realized I'm dying. I'm actually going to die. I'm not going to get out of this. And in that moment, the realization was, if I'm going to die in this car, I have to make peace with myself as quickly as possible. That was my goal. That just came through me. I'm going to die. I want to make peace with Gavin and with this experience. It hasn't turned out the way I had hoped. I'm not in my Ferrari. I'm not driving home to my beautiful wife and my nice house. None of these dreams, the whole MTV generation dreams of success didn't seem to manifest. So I instinctively put my hand on my heart and I would look around at like the bags of dirty clothes and shopping and food and my sleeping bag in the bed in the back of the car, and just feel what I felt, feel the grief and the sadness, and whatever passed through me in those moments, and forgive myself and say, I'm doing my best. I've done my best. I'm doing my best. And found the gratitude for the experience and for what I had, that I did have food, some food. I did have a roof over my head. I wasn't sleeping in a doorway. I had warm clothes. I had a warm sleeping bag. And this kind of snowballed over the coming weeks. And I found treatment and I got to work. My health obviously improved and I learned how to do things naturally to cure all those ailments and got help obviously from others. And long story short, I continued doing that. And that work then became this course, and it became the work on the Sundays. And I worked obviously with ayahuasca. I worked with a number of medicines and I encountered great darkness, unbelievable darkness and demonic stuff and satanic stuff. And I don't mean once or for moments, I mean again and again and again. And had to learn to integrate this and make peace with this and love this, and to realize that there is no light and darkness. There just is consciousness. It's the human mind and ego that divides all this into duality, into the good and bad, the light and dark, the good and evil, all this stuff. Oh, I like this coffee. I don't like this coffee. Oh, I don't like that movie. Oh, I like that movie. And we're continually battling through what we like and what we don't like. And all of that is just the mind's perception. As we roll back the mind's perception, there just is an experience. There is a frequency. There is a sensation that is passing through this thing, this being. And to witness those sensations and everything else settles. That's the beauty of it. So today I find myself in Acapulco, in Calera, Las Playas, and overlooking the Pacific Ocean. I've got all this glass, a huge balcony, and it's not that I won the lottery or get loads of clients or made loads of money. There's people who know me know that these things just kind of unfolded. Gavin didn't generate this. I didn't manifest this. These days, I don't believe in manifestation or any of that. I believe in integration. Witnessing and bringing home the pieces that need to be brought home. And once they're brought home, our experience unfolds. My higher self or being or consciousness can generate a far more fulfilling experience for me than the limitations of my human mind and ego, which thinks it knows this is what I want to do and manifest. And I want my life to look like this. There's something much greater than that. So this life has unfolded, and over the last couple of days, at times I remembered 4 years in a car, and here I am, I don't know, 18 months or something in Mexico, and about a year in this apartment, and overlooking the sun and the sea. And I haven't done my work. It's continual. Every day is, and even this morning I was challenged. There's more stuff to make peace with and to allow to breathe through me, allow to come home. It's not to escape. So now I see, that I went through this before a lot of people went through it with COVID. So when COVID hit, I was in a pretty good place. And then I began to make money, and I began to make my move out of the car, out of Ireland, here to Acapulco, unintentionally. I didn't design this. I found myself here. So now with inflation, people losing their jobs, and all the other stuff that's going on, this is the universal shadow or individual shadows that are being presented to people as opportunities for you to learn how to feel and integrate and meet yourself, and thus evolve through to a freer place. So that's what my work seems to be. But along that path, obviously, it's progressed, and my own awareness and understanding has progressed. And now I would see more and more that really the mind is the kernel of all problems. It is that perception is where it all begins, where it all goes wrong. And as I move along that road, I also encounter many people who are not ready to see that because they are heavily invested in mind and information and philosophy and theory and understanding, as opposed to experiencing joy, experiencing the sunshine, the love, light, whatever, darkness, experiencing the darkness, whatever is presented. So that's me in a nutshell, in a short podcast or video. And so anyone I work with is my reflection, is my shadow. Everyone is presenting a reflection back to me, and it's my responsibility to integrate that, bring it home, whatever activates me in the world. So that's what I teach people. And there's lots of free resources, posts. My stories are designed for people I work with or for anyone on this path. Those quotes or images to activate you, to give you an opportunity to integrate another layer. Then there's obviously the Sunday Zooms. They're free. For the first session is free to any newcomers, so you can come and try them, sit in. You don't even have to speak. You don't have to have your camera on. And then there's a 6-week course. People who really resonate with this or with me or with this frequency or energy, there's more available. Anyway, that's me. Thanks for listening to me, and thanks for following. Please subscribe or follow or share. I am trying to reach more people. There's more people that generally I do at times get messages from people. They're always private. People don't like to publicly comment on my work for some reason, but they say, wow, I'm glad I discovered, or I'm glad I listened to that video, or really connected, or whatever. So yeah, anyway, thanks for listening. Consider coming to Sunday Zoom. Don't consider anything. Follow your instinct. If your instinct says yes, bang, do it, turn up. It doesn't need a big story or justification. Other than that, be well.